Hi, I'm Carrie, and food makes me happy. Making it, sharing it, and of course, eating it.
I'm Stan, and I like eating Carrie's food too.
But good food doesn't just make me happy, it makes me feel great too. And that's why I want to share my recipes with you, so that you can feel amazing, eating mouth-watering meals, so simple that even Stan can make them. I'm vegan, and all my recipes are vegan friendly, so everyone's happy. Give them a try and see how tasty happy food can be. Today on Happy Food, we'll be taking a culinary trip through Westeros with recipes inspired by Game of Thrones.
Our hearty stew-filled trenchers and heavenly lemon sponge cakes will transport you down the King's Road from Winterfell to King's Landing.
The perfect fare for a Game of Thrones party. These traditional treats are great fun to share and full of fabulous flavours.
So come with us now on a journey through time and taste.
First up, some nutritious northern hospitality. My warming Winterfell stew served in medieval wholemeal and rye bread trenchers.
Chock full of chunky root vegetables, this dish epitomises house stock, a warm, wholesome exterior with hidden resources of strength and energy.
It's great fun to eat with your hands, tearing off chunks of bread as you go, and is just the sort of meal that travellers on the King's Road might enjoy. This recipe is in two parts. First we make the bread for the trencher, and then we make the hot stew filling.
Right, Carrie.
Yes.
Which Game of Thrones character would you be?
Oh, I'd have to think about that one.
I know who I'd be.
Uh-huh.
In fact, I'm a lot like him already. A strong leader with a mysterious past, charismatic and heroic.
Joffrey's not heroic.
I am not Joffrey. I'm Jon Snow.
No. All right.
I look nothing like Joffrey.
Oh, that's right, yes.
Please.
Right. Let's get on with the trencher, shall we?
Yes, let's. Why is it called a trencher anyway?
I have no idea. So why don't you go and find out?
Maybe I will.
For the bread, you'll need 400 grams of rye flour, 400 grams of whole wheat flour, 7 grams of fast-action easy-bake yeast, a teaspoon of salt, 600 millilitres of warm water, 3 tablespoons of agave nectar, and 2 tablespoons of caraway seeds, which are optional. Put the rye and wholemeal flour into a large mixing bowl. Add the yeast and salt and mix well. Dissolve the nectar in the water and add to the mixture. Mix all the ingredients together to form a sticky dough. Now you can use a food processor with a dough hook or your hands, or a bit of both. Tip the mixture onto a floured board and knead for 4 to 5 minutes, then shape it into a round. Transfer the dough into an oiled bowl and cover with oiled cling film. Then set it aside in a warm place for about an hour till the dough has doubled in size. Once risen, remove the dough from the bowl and knead for a further 2 to 3 minutes on a lightly floured board. Add the caraway seeds. Quarter the dough and shape into large round rolls. Place them on an oiled baking sheet, recover with the oiled cling film, and set them aside in a warm place for another 30 minutes until risen. Preheat the oven to gas mark 8, 230 degrees centigrade. Bake in the centre of the oven for 30 to 40 minutes until they sound hollow when tapped on the bottom. Place them on a wire rack to cool. When completely cool, cut off the top and scoop out enough dough to make a well for the stew. Make sure the walls of the trencher are thick enough that the stew doesn't seep through. Finally, fill your bread with the mouth-watering stew. Stan, that's the bread ready. Can you come and help me with the stew, please?
Certainly.
Ooh, nice cloak.
Thank you. If I'm not mistaken, these are all winter vegetables you have there.
That's right.
Winter?
Yes.
It's my motto. House of Stark. Winter is coming.
Oh, yes. Right. So, for this recipe, we'll need 2 tablespoons of oil and 1 onion, 2 cloves of garlic, 2 celery sticks, 1 carrot chopped, 1 parsnip chopped, a sweet potato and 2 ordinary potatoes, a red bell pepper, 3 mushrooms, a can of drained butter beans, 500 millilitres of vegetable stock, 2 tablespoons of plain flour and 2 teaspoons of paprika. Ooh, it's off to the wall. Fry the onions in the oil till soft, add the garlic and paprika and stir for 2 minutes. Add the celery, carrot, potato, sweet potato and red pepper and cook for a further 2 minutes. Oh, and don't forget the mushrooms. Sprinkle the vegetables with the flour and stir till they are completely coated. Mix in the stock, bring to the boil, then lower the heat and simmer for 30 minutes. Add the drained butter beans, season to taste, cook for a further 5 minutes and serve. Oh, lovely. The smoked paprika's lovely. So, Stan, what did you find out about trenchers?
Well, Carrie, I'm pleased you asked me that. Find them and bring them to me! Kill them! Kill them all! Who are you?
I am Khaleesi, mother of vegans.
I knew that.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
Actually, that's where you're wrong. The word trencher is derived from the Old French trancher, which simply means the cup. This is because trenchers were originally thick cuts of coarse stale bread, originally used as plates before plates had been invented, right up until the 16th century. It was a pretty good way of doing things if you think about it. No dishes to wash! Not only that, but it was tradition to give the flavour-filled used trenchers to the poor as alms after the feast was over. Double bonus! Kings like my brother Rob and nobility like my father Ned would have had trenchers carved for them and intricately decorated. Normal people, however, would just carve them themselves out of a loaf of bread. To have a trencher prepared for you was seen as an act of courtesy. No doubt Walder Frey had several carved for poor Rob at his wedding. The stinking old weasel. Since traditional trenchers were just one thick cut of coarse sliced stale bread, not originally designed to be eaten by the diners, the one in our recipe would be better described as a bread bowl, but it makes for a much tastier meal. And makes the perfect parcel for a picnic on the King's Road.
Our second recipe is a real treat, all the way from Dorne and enjoyed by everyone who's anyone at King's Landing. Dornish lemon cakes.
Simple yet delicious. These are Sansa Stark's favourite food, a symbol of southern refinement and elegance.
I've been working on perfecting a vegan sponge, and with this recipe, I think I've cracked it. Light and zesty, these little beauties might just float you to paradise. You will need 270 grams of self-raising flour, 200 grams of vegan castor sugar, a teaspoon of baking powder, 100 ml of oil, 170 ml of soya milk, and 2 lemons. Preheat the oven to gas mark 5, 190 degrees centigrade. Sift the flour and baking powder into a medium-sized bowl. Zest and juice one of the lemons. Add the sugar and lemon zest and mix well. Mix in the oil, lemon juice and soya milk. Pour the mixture into a jug. Grease a muffin tray and fill each well to just below the top. Bake in the centre of the oven for 20 to 30 minutes or until a toothpick inserted in the middle of one of the cakes comes out clean. Leave them to rest for a few minutes and then run a knife round the outside of each cake and tip them out onto a wire rack to cool. Slice the second lemon and quarter each slice to decorate the cakes. When the cakes are cool, top with fresh lemon curd and a quarter lemon slice.
That's us all set for our Westeros adventure. Next stop, the King's Road.
If you like the look of these recipes, why not give them a go? They're so tasty and really easy to make.
The costumes are optional. Happy eating!
And that's us for our stew. Where has he gone?